Yo,
What's going on? Bruh, when I say the sands of time have stood still, it feels that way, bruh. Maybe I fucked that up. Maybe, dang, bruh. We gotta start that all over, bro. We gotta start that over. We gotta start it
And
over.
in an hourglass.
when he went Sands of Time, I was like, yo, this is either gonna be real badass or it's gonna be so bad.
I can't lie. Almost died, bro.
Sands of time.
Let's choke the nut.
Nah, I took a shot. I burnt my whole damn throat, man. I am not
That's why they
okay.
call it firewater.
I am not okay, bro.
Alright, boys. So we're back with that next session 130. Steve-O, come on, bruh.
My bad, y'all. I didn't even realize I was just doing my thing.
134 of the greatness. I know the hiatus for the podcast. It's not my fault, bro. Like it's not my fault. There's nothing I can do, bro. Like it's like if y'all niggas want to fade about it, y'all can come through and fade about it. But there's nothing I can do about it, bro. Like this nigga doesn't like to draw, bro. He draws a page a year, bro. Like I don't know what's going on, bro. Like is Corona getting to this dude? Like what is?
You can do something.
Bro, what? Shut up, bro.
Just make your own chapters like you used to.
Or buy a ticket and go to Japan and find him and be like, draw, motherfucker, draw.
Yo, imagine making your own chapter reacting to it.
I keep exposing all the old Grim Reaper channel lore. Like the new fans wouldn't know nothing about that.
Don't tell them about Greenpeace.
I feel like I've heard of that, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's in the Discord.
Write that down somewhere, boys. Grim Peace is what he said.
Stop running, nigga.
All right, but we were welcomed back with, I believe, the conclusion of the fight. Not necessarily all of it, or we're not necessarily sure exactly what's gonna happen next. There's some points to speculate on, which we'll be doing this episode. Dang, Steve-O, bro, come on, puppy. Regardless of that, though, the boys are here to give their opinions on the goodness, greatness, okayness, badness of the chapter. What do you guys think?
I mean, how'd you
Chapter
follow
was
that
sexy.
Let's
Chapter
go.
was sexy as a motherfucker.
Well, I think I speak for everyone and, like, did not expect this from Tatsumaki. She's basically flushing a city. Because that's about what I pictured. It was like, because of the angle, you know, it's that bird's eye view. City just churning in twain. It's like, she just turning Z into toilet city. Oh Lord, this amount of power. What is rank 1 supposed to look like then? But the prop moments for Genos and everything. Oh, it was just great. Pass it on to you, Matt.
How is she not S-Class rank 1? Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm guessing Blast has to be something incredible, but
He's fake, bro.
she's the one pulling the weight. Like Genos, and that was amazing where Genos came in clutch and I mean, obviously everything he's doing holding off a Dragon Plus threat, but she span a city around because she ultimately went, I'm gonna mess with your sister. I don't know what to say. I mean, it was a great chapter, and we kind of get to see what's going on with her, and obviously she's got a bit more respect for Genos, which is great, but I'll leave it to Satsuki because I feel like he can probably talk about Atomic Samurai a bit better than I can this chapter. But
Atomic was in this chapter, bro.
you didn't see that page? Oh, well, let's tell you about it.
No.
It reminds you. Post the panel.
You're good. I remember it.
I don't want to talk about Atomic, man. We just giving our first thoughts and everything, so I want to piggyback off of what Matt was saying with the whole Blast thing, even though Blast wasn't, of course, in this chapter. It also makes me not only does Tatsumaki showing in this chapter make you think, what could Blast do if he's above her? It also makes me think, what has he shown to be in that ranking? Because people will have to actually see his power to determine that he is the strongest S-class hero or the best S-class hero. So I want to know what he has done in his past to give him that position. Because the Tatsumaki is showing this, and they still come to the conclusion that, no, you're still in second. I want to know what Blast has done. What feats does he have to put him in that ranking? Was it testimony from other people, or did he do something that we don't know of?
I wanna before you go on, Sundown, I want to interject in that part you mentioned right there, Sasuke. Like, I remember, I think it was when we were learning about the journey of like the S class and how they got to the point what they were, where they showed us Dark Shine, Metal Bat, and Watchdog, right? I think in that instance they told us that we hadn't really seen a demon class threat yet. And then the S class showed up or got their like titles because they were beating demons by themselves. And then dragons started to show up, and then we actually got more defined stuff. That's what my understanding is, that like the association was made, but like they had not seen demons yet. So like I think your question is even more valid, because it seems like this may be the biggest threats that we've had to the planet, like in terms of the association being involved. Besides Boros and like them being oblivious to that situation, like I don't think anybody's ever like forced the destruction of an entire city or like forced Tatsumaki to do something like this. Like, is it reasonable to believe that this may be the greatest operation the association has done?
I mean, just from what we know, of course, from just a story standpoint, we haven't seen anything at this scale, at least in a public view, because with the whole Boros situation, nobody knows about that except for Saitama and Boros himself. So like, this is the biggest public showing that we know of. So that's why I kind of bring into question, what has Blast shown to make people think that he is the definitive top hero?
So,
I feel like it's probably testimony. The reason why I don't think it's all testimony, but maybe he got like the cosign from Tatsumaki or somebody else of that stature.
see, I have to agree with that, because like I mean on the inverse, like I don't see evidence to say that like we've seen a threat that's bigger than this publicly, like you're saying. Like EC wasn't, I guess EC was big, but he was weaker back then than he was now. And we saw what he was able to do now. It was threatening a city, for sure, but like either that city wasn't anywhere near the size of Z City, or I don't know. That really brings up a good question that you're stating like that. We should probably address that like pretty soon. Like, is it really acceptable to not give Tatsumaki number one when she's doing all of this, and we potentially don't have a reason to believe that there's been any threat bigger than this publicly?
Yeah.
Sundown?
Crazy theory. He is the reason why there's like this Pangea-like continent, because he didn't want to swim to go to all the cities to do his hero work. He's just like, fuck this shit, and he just started pushing continents.
Imagine that. But yeah, I like the chapter. I like Satsuki's actually idea of what exactly has Blast shown. I want to actually know a little bit more about that. That's a good question. But the chapter itself was awesome. I loved seeing Genos put in some work he didn't get made into contemporary art. I loved seeing Tatsumaki putting in some work as well. I love the fact that she got to solely focus on Sayorochi, and we got to see her go max output. But actually, we don't even know if this is absolute max. And I liked the elements of character development from both Genos and from Tatsumaki. So a solid chapter overall for me.
I like the chapter, but I ain't had no issues with it, nothing. Like Sundown just said, what Sundown just talking, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
I just want to make sure. He said that Genos' showcase was was a thing that he looked forward to seeing, and I appreciated it too. I like how you put it. You say contemporary art or whatever. I think that's funny. But yeah, I'm glad that he didn't look like a loser or like his job and or whatever. He actually put in some work to help Tatsumaki. I appreciate that.
All right, so let's dive into it. Did you guys want to give your opinions on like what Blast has really done, or should we just leave that to when it comes up?
I mean, it's nothing really for me. I don't think there's anything in the story that we can speculate. Just from like how people react in this chapter, they were shocked to see Tatsumaki doing what she did. So I think it's really hard to believe that Blast has done something of this level that others have seen. But at the same time, for them to keep him at this rank for this long and nobody has really questioned it, nobody has stood up to bat for Tatsumaki and said she should be number one or anything. It's just a common fact that Blast is number one from what we've seen in the story. So I don't know, because nobody talks about his feats.
That's what's interesting as well, because they still refer to King as the strongest man on the planet, but at the same time, it's still Blast is number one. That doesn't change.
Yeah, like we laughed about whenever Drive Night asked Second Gar whether Blast could come assist or whether Blast was in the vicinity, because like we thought it was ridiculous. Like we know that Blast only comes for like crazy situations. Even Sit said it himself. But like, is it really crazy? Like we've seen S-Class come for situations that probably like aren't God or High Dragon like. S-Class come for demons as well. Like we learned that. Like the S-Class were made to fight demons, and they just happen to be fighting dragons now. So does that like reference? Like hold on, but actually I actually want to get deeper with this, because this is making sense in my head. It may be credulous, but this is the individual who we know gathers information. Out of all the characters, he's the one that's supposed to be quote unquote the most credible, because he's vetting it, seeing it himself, and analyzing the situation. I don't think the information that he gave Genos is inaccurate unless it's like a form of sabotage. So like if Drive Night can accurately analyze and give us a rating for Neon's power, and that's confirmed by him being able to beat Neon, even though he told us that like he wouldn't be able to do it as easily if it wasn't for the information that he gathered. So that tells us there, information he's gathering is valuable. And now he's telling us that like Blast should maybe be able to come and assist for a demon situation. Like that's dragon level stuff. I'm not like, don't get me wrong, like I have a bias. Like I don't see Blast favorably because of all the hype and no action, like none at all. But I clearly understand the point in the story that he has a rank, and we're probably going to see that power later on. I'm just questioning, like, they're telling us all this kind of, like, efficient stuff. Like, I don't think Blast has had a fight of this level. And if he hasn't, then Sasuke's right. How are you number one?
I mean, the only feat we've got of Blast is the fact he made Elder Centipede run away. Like, Elder Centipede would rather avoid a fight with him than challenge him. You know, that's why he went.
I thought he escaped.
Yeah, I seem to recall the escape, which actually makes you wonder, did Blast let him escape, or did Elder Centipede just luck out?
I mean, Metal Knight didn't really let EC escape, but he still EC still escaped from that scenario, and Metal Bat died from Orochi. Metal Knight died from Orochi. If I said that wrong, I meant Metal Knight instead of Metal Bat. Metal Knight hopped onto EC, and EC still got away from Metal Knight. And it was Orochi who ended up killing Metal Knight, not Elder Centipede. So even from a guy as strong as Metal Knight, with that drone, he was still able to escape. So maybe it's not just incompetence from Blast, or maybe it's not like some evil scheme where he just let him go. Maybe he just like, EC could really get away. I'm not sure if that like helps Blast's case or hurts Blast's case, but even then, that, like I said, that still doesn't like convince me that that's like that he should be number one. Like Tatsumaki would eat EC for lunch, man. According to these panels, man, for lunch, nigga.
Yeah. I have no clue. The problem is we just don't have any other evidence or testimony from other characters to give Blast any feats that indicate that he is the hero that we should be looking at as the strongest or anything like that. Because I think Matt said it. Like, the interesting point is the fact that King is referred to as the strongest person, yet Blast is number one. So if they think he is the strongest, then what do they think of Blast if he's rank one? Because from what we've seen, is he's not number one from hero work, because these other S-class heroes are doing more in terms of just like the quantity of work and how reliable they are. You could be reliable in pivotal moments and everything, but this is a pivotal moment. Motherfucker, the world is about to end, and he's nowhere to be found. So like I said before in previous podcasts, he has to be here based on his strength, but his strength is weirdly unproven as far as we know.
Hope this isn't a Manaka moment.
Oh nah, if Blast is a fraud, oh my goodness.
Or okay, the fact that he's been so out of the picture and it's hard to call him, and he doesn't show up at all. What if it's been so long since they first ranked him, they assume he's gotten stronger, or at least they kind of keep that illusion up that he's getting stronger, and it's driving all the other heroes to get stronger. Also, does anybody below S-Class even know Blast exists? Like,
well, I wouldn't know.
I would guess so, because cause people know about ranking. So I'd imagine people would at least wonder who is S-Class rank 1. It's like people want to know who the best is.
With all that, like, the power, what was it, the power play, or what they call it? Like how people are in competition to move up the ranks all the time.
But Keisha might be on something. If Blast isn't like an actual, I know obviously he probably is something, but like if Blast was more like of an idea to motivate people.
That's crazy.
Actually,
I'm not gonna lie, that's probably the gayest thing you said. High key.
I'm hoping
high key, bro. Blast is just an idea to motivate us. Where did this come from? Nigga, that's gay.
Yo, this slander
doesn't become that.
Guys,
I hope
he's made along the way. Is that not clear?
Hell no, bro.
I hope it doesn't turn out to be that, because then that's like the biggest letdown ever, given that this man, we've only seen like maybe a glimpse of him from a flashback of someone's vague ass memory.
No,
it's like
Blast is an anagram for teamwork.
Exactly. Blast. Blast is an illusion for the heroes to aspire to. When they're getting their asses kicked, they try that little bit harder to hold out while people are evacuating, because they're thinking, maybe Blast will come. Maybe Blast will save my ass. That's exactly what Blast is. He's an illusion.
He's a symbol.
But I feel like that would actually affect them negatively, because if you're thinking, oh, Blast might be able to save me, wouldn't that kind of put you in the situation where the heroes are just relying on something that isn't going to come if he is just a concept? I think like I get the competition aspect of it, but in another way, it's also dangerous.
I get it. I just think it might be really funny if it just turned out to be, and all these people all like can't wait to see what Blast is, and then one's just like about that, guys.
To me, worst case scenario is that it turns out to be Saitama, which I'm low key expecting it to be Saitama.
That's actually what I think.
Yeah.
I think Blast is like Saitama before he lost all his hair.
I used to think that, but I don't. I think it's too easy,
Yeah, and I want him to be an actual character. I want it to be a threat. Here's what like the feel that I'm getting, that something happened a long time ago. Or no, it can't be that, because the inception of the association was made by Saitama. So, see, that's the part that makes it so difficult. They told us that the reason the association was made was for weaker threats. Like, there was just a lot of monsters. It was for, like, the amount of monsters coming out. Not because of, like, God threats. Like, God threats are new. They're telling us that like threats are getting more frequent and crazier, and they have been. It's not just because of Giro's like presence or underneath Z City. It's like everywhere. So like there's still something that's hidden there or that like we're not seeing clearly. Or maybe I'm just like I'm connecting it, or like I'm just like looking at it like too vague. I don't know what it is, but
I think the main thing is we don't know enough about Blast. Like he's such a he's like taboo. Like he's forbidden to talk about even by like the Hero Association.
Total enigma.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
like
Blast is going around creating monsters.
Oh god.
Blast is the awful one of the One Punch Man world.
I got a theory about that actually, about God being the one that's causing all the monsters to spur up, but
I mean that makes sense if he's God.
fuck out of here, man.
It's like, hopefully I create a challenge. He could be on like one of those various little like continents that we see sometimes on the map. So he might just be on the other side of the world fighting monsters. I think we've brought that up at some point.
Yeah,
Like,
it was a while ago, but we've definitely talked about that idea.
And he's just like a nomadic hero that's like, have problems, we'll travel.
If we got like a flat map of the Earth, it'd help. But
Yeah.
all right, so we start off the chapter with Sairochi letting off another one of her cannons point blank at Tatsumaki. Well, almost point blank. And this is one of the feats that I guess the greater point that I want to get to in this portion is like defining the overall ability of Genos. And I think that this here is an example of that. So Genos manages to like from the position that we previously saw him in, he was in like the lower bottom corner of the screen. Here dealing with the other like beams that the Cerberus heads and like the other heads that were throwing smaller cannons. He's deflecting those and like canceling those out. And then in a short time period to where Tatsumaki was stunned, Genos is able to like get in front of her and let off his strongest, seems like his strongest attack. So crazy speed feat there. Like you see where Sairochi's beam is at. He not only got in front of it and then let off his attack too. So like, can we acknowledge the speed there? Or like, is that like not above Dragon? Like, is that like high? Like, what do you guys think from that?
Oh, it's definitely a crazy speed feat. Cause I'm looking at the panel right now. Considering that we're dealing with dragons here, I don't think that beam came out slow at all. So the fact that Genos came at almost it's probably faster than a split second, I can safely say. I think you can count that as a speed feat for sure.
Yeah. He's not just
Impressive
demon
one.
cyborg, he's speed demon cyborg.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. The fact that he's dealing with all those other kind of dragon heads, all their beams, and then he makes it over to Tatsumaki. I mean, it's what's his name, Genos. He knows exactly what's going on here. I think he's going 100%. Because if he doesn't, he gonna die. And Tatsumaki, whose mind seems to be somewhere else, she's not gonna be in a good state either. So I think he's definitely going 100%. Mad speed as well.
Also, given what we're about to get to, kind of proves what we saw last chapter wasn't even the 10 seconds, presumably. So, that's crazy.
See, that's what I said, and they guys call me dumb and stupid for that. So please elaborate with what you mean, Keishan. And if you're hold up, if you told me that wasn't the case, viewers, fuck you, nigga.
Oh, I thought this was becoming like a personal attack against me, and I was like, what the fuck did I say last podcast?
No. And I'm gonna edit that out so you can get monetized, but yeah.
But it's like, because we discussed it last time that like it was kind of hard to judge when the whole 10 seconds starts. But then given what he does, it's like that seemed like that was at least in that 10 seconds. But then given this chapter, no, I don't even think it had started until he's basically, his chest is opening up and he's going full unibeam Iron Man style, So
Okay, so that's a good point to hit on, because I was all right. So, is the drill cannon base Genos?
Probably.
might be a mid special for him.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's within his 10 seconds. I think Kishin's right in the sense of this. What was it called? The True Spiral Incineration Cannon.
Hell yeah!
I think that's his 10-second time frame. Everything else is he can. Well, I wouldn't say he could pop off, but that's beneath his 10 seconds.
To be clear, we're saying that from the moment that Genos was like throwing those beams to the moment that he stood in front of Tatsumaki onward, like that's all 10-second mode. That took 10 seconds.
I'm saying from like the point of where he starts, you see his chest open.
Okay, yeah.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all that took. I mean, this is why fucking manga and like time fucking blows, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, what do the rest of you guys think? Matt, Satsuki, Steepo? Do you think from the moment he opened up his chest, was that 10 seconds, or do you reckon it's 10 seconds prior to that?
I have to look back at the chapters really quick.
Yeah.
Talking about Genos?
Yeah.
You talking about like when he unleashed the beam, right?
Yep.
No, I think it'd be a lot less than 10 seconds. I mean, these people move at incredible speed. And they attack at incredible speed. So
you think that the true spiral incineration cannon and the drill cannon are part of his 10-second mode?
I forgot all about the whole 10-second mode thing. But I would assume it'd have to be because they seem like they're above his pay grade, so to speak. So, yeah, I think so.
Well, he was only able to deflect beams last chapter, and now he is straight up canceling it. So there is a difference.
Yeah, but like deflecting the earth cutter is not like a fucking like no dragon is doing that. No high dragon is doing that. Like that's not the case. Period. Like Rover is not touching one of those earth cutters. Not gonna happen. I don't even think Child Emperor could touch that earth cutter.
That's big. That's big words, Grimm.
That's big words right there. You know how I love Child. I mean,
Okay.
Clip that. Clip that.
Child Emperor's a great character. I think Child Emperor's a great character.
You got to choose your words a little more carefully, fella.
Yeah, you gotta clip that, man.
I know I say some weird stuff, but that was one for the books.
You know they stay trying to get you out here.
They trying to get me, bro.
We don't do that here. That's disgusting.
This is a
RIP.
one-punch podcast. We do not condone that kind of behavior.
Yeah, I could never run for office, bro. I can never run for office.
Oh, that's the thing that stopped you.
At all. They
That's
always
the
trying
one,
to get
that's
you.
the one.
They already trying to get you for denying your blackness.
Bro, they finna bring come to my office with that. They finna be like, they finna bring a clock too, with 18 numbers on it. They give me like 18 numbers. There's 18 digits on the clock. You get it, bro? You get it. Past 12's lunch.
You stupid, bro.
Right on the clock.
I think Matt's confused that this is the comment that you're thinking. Maybe this won't allow me to run for president. not the thing where I said if it ain't on the clock.
Oh Lord, you're having your Trump moment, Grimm.
Past 12, bitch. All right, all right, yeah. So let's continue to speculate on like whether the drill cannon and the true spiral incineration cannon are part of the second mode or not. I think you already went Keishan and Sundown. Go ahead, Matt.
I think they are part of the 10-second mode. Both. I know, obviously, like the difference in beam is massive, but it's literally just because I'm going over the chapter from before. He's literally saying like my ultimate weapon could pulverize the meteor in one shot. I did not think I'd have to use it 5 minutes into battle. So like, then there's the echo of Kuseno going, and stood full power only lasts 10 seconds. So like, this is like a massive power boost to Genos in general. So it might be he can use these moves like regularly, but the difference is obviously like it's upscaled and more powerful because he's up against this opponent. And like, it's like you guys said like a couple minutes ago, like the speed feats that these guys are moving at is incredible. Genos going from fighting the dragons to blocking that is massive. So 10 seconds, it's a stretch of time. Like 10 seconds is short, but because of the speed these guys are moving at, it's there. It makes sense. It's just, and like you said, it's shown in the manga stuff. Like time is a difficult thing to measure.
I agree too that like not only from what Steve said that like it's above his pay grade, but like also the dialogue in the previous chapter. I think it does make more sense to believe that like the true incineration cannon is just an escalation or like the final attack or a power up for his 10-second mode. Not a power up, but like the final output for his 10-second mode. That does make a lot more sense. But like it's a huge escalation. He didn't the drill cannon also use his chest cavity?
No,
Yeah.
it was
No.
straight his hands.
Was it just his hands, like a Kamehameha thing?
Yep. Because he does like the whole dragon head with
Yeah.
and forms a
Oh,
ball.
so I forgot about Elder Centipede. Which one does he use against? Is that the spiral incineration cannon he uses against Elder Centipede? When he's inside.
Yeah, I think so. The drill cannon is the one he used last chapter.
Yeah.
And the thing we kept wanting to just call Blue Dragon or Lightning Dragon.
Yeah, so to be fair, I think I might go back on my opinion then, because it does make sense with Genos' dialogue from last chapter with him saying, I'm surprised I have to use these 10 seconds so early on in this fight, 5 minutes in. It's just that the concept of time within this, it feels like it's been a lot longer than 10 seconds. And then in my mind, if I was to animate this fight or this kind of clash of beams would last 10 seconds with the spiral.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's where I support you. That's where I can reaffirm my suspicion with that right there. That the clash time period can allude to something else. Like I'm definitely not saying that it was going to be 10 seconds or 8 seconds. I'm not saying that we have a definitive time scale. But if anything were to give us more doubt as to whether it was 10 seconds, I think that would be the key factor. Like the length of the explosion, like how long was Genos really yelling after like Tatsumaki looked at him or whatever. Like when Sairochi like made that comment, like how much, you know what I'm saying? Like, Because when Sairochi was like, oh, it's a one-trick pony, it looked like she like popped that out immediately after. So like how many seconds did that take too?
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking.
Did anybody else want to elaborate, Suzuki? You good?
No, pretty much everything has been said. I if you want my opinion on when the whole 10 seconds thing happened, I would probably go with the drill cannon from that point onwards. That's all I have to say.
So is it safe to say that he could probably only do the true incineration cannon once?
Yes.
Yeah, it seems very much like a last resort. It's
Yeah.
like,
It literally fried him, which was one of the outcomes we talked about last time.
So let me ask you guys a question for real. Like this question will definitively put down the Genos haters and the Genos downplay. So be as descriptive and as truthful as possible. Can Genos cut the earth with this attack?
I don't think he could cut the earth, and the reason, like, okay, with Psychos, her blast is just like that. The volume is just crazy. I don't think Genos is necessarily at least what cut the earth, how it did, but like
We saw it on screen. We saw the hold on. Right there, look.
Presumably, Genos is actually shooting a comparable sized beam.
Yeah.
What Sairochi's doing right now. Now, it may be a little hard to judge, like the tri-beam from a couple chapters ago, but I'd say this is probably more powerful, or at least on the same level as the tri-beam.
Yeah, Okay, but what I'm trying to get at is like the potency might be the same, like the quality attack might be same, but not the
The size of it,
uh
yeah.
yeah,
I
the
get
size of
what
it.
you're on about. Yeah, because obviously
Yeah.
the thing is with Cyrochi's beam, like it was huge. Like we saw, like it was evident that that beam in particular, the one where obviously we got the double spreads, was causing like it dwarfed the city, like it dwarfed the tower, the Monster Association. Like the whole point was this was a big attack to show off, whereas Genos's attack isn't as big as that. It's a big beam, but it's not the same kind of size of that beam. I mean, it's possible though, because if you think back to like beginning Genos, when he's House of Evolution, when he's at the beginning he's blowing up a mountain with his kind of beams. So it's not impossible, just unlikely because of the size of it.
But are we saying? Because I'm not convinced that the beam fired by Cyrochi is an Earth splitter. So I'm not sure if it's the exact type of beam that she fired when she cut off part of the planet. Just because that beam seemed to have a lot of width to it. When we saw it from that aerial perspective, like Matt was saying, it almost dwarfed Z City. It looked wide as shit.
Yeah, it's
covered
spread
the
out.
entire horizon. Yeah,
It was
and this
made
one, yeah, and this one either because we didn't see it from that angle, or maybe we didn't get to see it further out from where she fired it from, which was herself. It just doesn't look or feel like the same type of beam.
I mean, even just going back and just comparing the beams. Like the beam that Cyrochi fires when she does that one, it starts off small, but it expands massively.
Yep.
Like in the same amount of time. Whereas
Right.
this one, it keeps its shape. So this one stays like this one keeps its shape consistently. But that one, it expands, that's where it becomes huge.
Yeah, so maybe there just wasn't enough distance covered.
Yeah,
Or it
yeah,
could be a different-
okay. Maybe, but like, if you feel, it's just difficult because I love to push the aesthetic narrative that what we see is what it is, but I honestly don't have a reason to believe that all her beams are not the same exact power. Like, why would she be decreasing her power? Like, we could claim that the fact that she got fucked over in mid-fight could definitely attest to this. You know, she had to recover herself after the whole squeezing from the interior stuff. Like, sure, maybe it became less potent, but Tatsumaki hasn't mentioned that whatsoever. And from the required interference from Genos, like, it really doesn't look like. I don't want to use that because Genos deflected an attack and like their explosions together was gargantuan. It like. I think we just either need more context or I honestly can't say that like this is just weaker. Like it looks different. Maybe it's because she was flying around or like trying to dodge it or like
Yeah, and I suppose
I don't know.
the danger behind Cyrochi has been, like Satsuki said earlier, the fact that she can just volley these attacks. She doesn't need like a charge up or she doesn't have a cooldown period. She just keeps popping these earth splitters like it means nothing. So I think then I'd agree with Satsuki and Matt in the sense of maybe Genos is more of a condensed beam in the sense of maybe it wouldn't split the earth like hers did, where like it was basically a slice of the earth. Maybe it would just pop a hole through the ground and pop out the other side. Almost like a drill.
It's kind of what it looked like whenever he did the beam because it had those swirls around it. And then if you look at I think I can show you one here. The panel where they're actually clashing, the final panel, you can see that Cyrochi's beam is being like kind of like diffused or unraveled as Genos just pushes through it from the inside. So yeah, it definitely describing it as like more concentrated or like a drill, I think is apt.
What's the question?
Do you think Genos can cut the earth?
Just to get clarification, Cyrochi still is doing the same thing that she's been doing, right?
As far
We're
as we
kind
can
of
tell.
assuming.
Yeah.
We're assuming yes.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah, that's what I think too, but
So, just a question as well, Grimm. Could you start us off with the Genos haters? Do you think people are going to hate Genos after this?
It's not Geno's hate, it's downplay. Like, I know this is gonna alienate a bunch of the viewers. Like,
Alienate him. We hate y'all.
like, wait, there are some individuals, and this is a very, very small minority, like maybe like 3 or 4 individuals, that their opinions are clearly anchored in like a different canon. So like the events that happen in the manga, they're expecting those events to match up to the ones that happen in a different canon. So when they don't match up exactly, or whenever there's like differences, they still assume that the result's going to be the same. So like obviously, I get an example. What I'm saying is like, you know, 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals what, 8 or whatever. Like along the way, if you change one of those 2's, it's going to change the final value. So that's the same case for the manga. Like a lot of the things do follow the same currents and the same events, but like 1 or 2 different factors in the story of the manga is going to make a different result for the manga. Like Atomic having the FAS, for example. I'm told that he doesn't have that in the webcomic. Sure, that's just one aspect for one character, but that changes the scaling. Now he's a stronger character in the manga than he is in the webcomic. Now you can't have the same exact scaling like that. So my belief is that because Genos at this point in the story is at a certain power level in the webcomic, that individuals will downplay or, I don't know, just not give enough credit to what Genos' feats are in the manga because they feel that he should be something else or that he's supposed to be at a different power level. And I kind of understand it because I feel that same way about Phoenix Man. Like, I don't accept the current Phoenix Man. Like, fuck that nigga, bro. Like, hell no. That's doo-doo Phoenix, man. The Penguin stuff? Like, my Phoenix is the first redraw Phoenix. That's, that's my boy right there. So, like, I get what's going on, but, like, that's my whole plight with like half of like the webcomic stuff, that like people are holding on to a different canon when they have to understand that the different variables in this canon are going to make a different result. That's my entire argument for webcomic bias, that the small variables in the manga do result in a butterfly effect that makes the manga different. So I guess to connect it to this situation here, like, I see the doubt. Like, we have no reason to believe that that the Sairochi attack is an earth cutter every single time. It didn't cut the earth every single time. But we were also given a perfectly good excuse that Tatsumaki said she was going to fight, as to which Sairochi wouldn't have the opportunity to aim it towards the ground. And that seems fine. It's working perfectly fine so far. But does that mean that like Sairochi's like throwing less attacks now? Like, are we to assume that like the longer she fights, that her beams are gonna become weaker? Like, no, we don't. I don't have evidence of that. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think that what Genos is doing is an earth cutting attack. Like, Steve was assertion that did Sairochi get weaker? No, all right, then yes, earth cutter. I believe that too. But I can't ignore the fact that like you're right. Like that shit looks different. Like the other one was wider. The other one was like much more gargantuan. It actually hit the ground. Like it did that. So that's why I say Genos hate.
Just on a related note, because it popped into my head, how are you going to feel in 6 months when Murata redraws it and then Genos doesn't do anything in this one?
I'm dropping one punch, bro. Like, bro, you have no idea how mad I am about that Phoenix redraw, bro. Like, I was really about to make a change.org thingy to petition to get that shit changed, bro. Oh,
All
God.
the things. That would be the thing. Oh.
I saw a meme the other
Time in a
day.
man's life where you've just got to say no more.
Yeah.
And that's yours.
That's mine.
When a penguin throws an iceberg at a robot and it just takes.
I'll protest for that. I'm in the streets for that.
Give me back the Phoenix Man they call trash.
Give it back. All right. Okay, so here's something else that I was like, let's avoid that. Let's avoid that for now.
No, we can never avoid it.
Let's focus on this
It's to
part.
keep you humble, Grimm.
No. Okay, so all right. So how do I put this? So like, all right, forget it. I'm just gonna say it like straight blatantly. You're really telling me that making like four to five orbs holding some individuals is the reason why you couldn't stop and deflect an earth cutting attack? That doesn't make sense to me.
Yep. Hey, and nigga, I want my credit. I told you she was not using her full power, and you were like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "Yo, she's focusing on the other heroes and she's doing other shit, so she's not fighting exactly at her full strength." I'm like, she's still taking it serious. I still believe that, but as we've seen, she just troll cycles. The fact that she threw that beam over her shoulder like it was just like she was dusting like dirt off her shoulder, I said, bruh, oh my god, oh my lord.
That was unacceptable, bro.
That was absolutely acceptable. That was incredible.
It was so disrespectful. She just said, all right, get this weak ass shit out of here. Now let's focus on the task at hand. But okay, I will give you some rope here, Grimm, and not to hang yourself because there's a rope to save you. There's a rope to save you. There's a rope to save you.
I wasn't even thinking about it like that, bro.
This is rope to save you, nigga.
No,
You in the water, I'm gonna save you, man. But I do think it's kind of weird that her focus just on putting these heroes in an orb is it detracted from her attention and her power enough.
You cut out. Is that me?
No, I think it's the
I think it's him.
Okay.
So I'll ask a quick question while we wait for him. So just looking at all the orbs, obviously everyone gets out. Does anyone know who that is? On the panel where Dark Shine comes out, it's the bottom one on the bottom left from it. Because the top left is a receiver. It's like one of the trackers. Does anyone know what that one underneath it is?
I think that's zombies.
Yeah, because it's his coat. Part of the coat's still with it.
Oh, okay. Who's was the other tracker then?
Flashies, I think.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay, that's fine. I was trying to figure out. That makes sense. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I think I made the same mistake as well. I was looking at it because I was like, there were two receivers without bodies. Who was the other one?
Yeah, because I was looking at it and, like, it's black and it's got a bit of white around it, and I was like, don't tell me that's like black spermatozoon he's got out somehow.
What do you guys think about the orbs and the fact that Tatsumaki she was taxed that much by them?
It's a weird topic, for one.
Mm-hmm. It's weird. I mean, you could kind of like justify it with the Buki at least. Maybe she wants to make sure that she gets out okay, and that's why she was concentrating so much. But
She made it bigger.
yeah,
You talking about the orbs that she used to get everybody out?
yeah, how it
Yep.
distracts her from
Like my argument is that like not only in the redraw did we see Neon like break it easily from the inside, and Atomic Samurai was able to outspeed it. Like this took that much effort away from her fighting. Like we saw the results of what she could do after the fight. So like my question to you, Steve, is it reasonable to think that like just protecting all these people and making these orbs taxed her so much?
The way that I look at it is that it's about the risk and the reward and the benefit that comes from doing it, I guess. And the fact that it's something that can help people, and I guess it's not impervious because you say Neon broke it pretty easily.
And Fat Gum.
Well, he did that from the inside, though. It seemed like from the outside, you can't really do nothing to it.
Fat Gum broke it.
Yeah.
From the outside?
Gums?
Yeah.
Yeah. Gums.
And
Yes,
why
forget about
why
that.
am I
Yeah.
saying Fat Gum?
Yeah, you saying Fat Gum.
Yeah, I was like,
I was gonna say.
and I still knew exactly. I don't know why I knew exactly who you were talking about anyway.
Sorry. Because I think I said something along the lines of that for like if Pig God became more like Fat Gums, like later in the story during my reaction, and I think it just stuck in my head. My apologies.
Hey, Suzuki, you back?
I'm back, man.
Oh,
I don't know
So-
where I cut out at, but I'm gonna let Steve finish.
I think because I was going to say it might be because that it's invincible, but apparently that's not true. So it would make more sense if you couldn't do anything to the barriers, and that's why it was so taxing. But the fact that all it is just that she's just grabbing people with these things that could be easily broken. I mean, maybe it's because of the range, and the fact that she has to divide her concentration so many times over because it was like 5 of them, I guess.
More than that.
Um,
Because you had the 3 disciples, they were individual. You had Fubuki, you had Pig God,
Atomic Samurai, Dark Shine,
Dark
Furry
Shine.
Furry. So, how many is that? That's like 8, 7.
Like
at
9.
least 8.
Yeah, probably 8, 9.
Uh,
The 2 transponders.
yeah, so there's at least 10 of them.
Right.
10, 11.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe all those factors come together to severely limit her. But then you got to wonder why this aspect of her power specifically, when she can do so much other crazy things, and it seems like she can do it all day long with no drawback.
It could be a skill tree thing. Like
Yeah,
she's
that's what I'm thinking.
telekinesis side of things and not so much barrier.
Yeah, maybe this is something that she just didn't put the proper skill points in.
I don't know where exactly did I cut out at. What's the last thing I said, if you remember?
I can't.
Oh, okay. I'll just what pretty much what I was saying is I kind of agree with Grimm. Just the fact that it's reason to question why Tatsumaki would be as nerfed as she was, considering that what she did, just putting everybody in the barriers and whatnot. I don't think it should have been that much to detract from her attention or her power or anything like that to the degree that we've seen, because as I said before, she easily deflected that beam. So like, I don't think what she did for the heroes, putting them in that bubble and whatnot, should have taken a lot of the percentage of power she was using. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. I think it's just one of those cases of, because we wanted Tatsumaki to struggle in this fight to make it seem like she was, or Cycles was a lot stronger than she was. I think it's just one of those cases where everything that happened in there concerning that plot point, the consistency of it, it had to be messed up just so we could get to the conclusion that we got to right now. Just to kind of extend this fight, I guess you could say. So I wouldn't put too much thought in it, trying to justify it. I just think it's one of those cases again. It had to happen this way just so the fight went in sooner.
Fair enough.
That last part right there is probably the worst excuse ever. Bro, she had to play with her so the fight wouldn't end fast, bro. Come on, bro. Fuck this.
It's not an excuse. I'm saying, I'm telling you, it's an inconsistency, but that's why it's an inconsistency. I'm not saying that's good. I'm just saying that's why it probably happened.
Yeah, I mean, because given the level of power, especially in this chapter alone, that we see her pulling off, like when she was in peak condition earlier on in this fight, why couldn't she have just twisted the shit out of Psychos before she even fused with Orochi? And just ended her right then and there.
Probably has something to do with her still maintaining humanity. Like maybe Tatsumaki don't like
It's like, God
ripping
damn it,
humans
you're
to
human.
shreds. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Maybe. Yeah, that would make some sense.
Could be like a mental thing. I know I probably wouldn't be able to do it.
Do you guys think
But
that
if it's a monster, like if I'm looking at like a super mutant from Fallout, like I could probably tear that nigga up easily.
So you saying this all happened because Psychos got uglier?
Yeah, basically.
All right.
Let me ask another controversial question. Are is there enough like thwarts for psychic powers in the series, or are they like unmatched?
Oof. From the powers that we've seen so far, I mean, we have some speed things. We have just like the casual beams and everything. We have martial arts. I think psychic powers are fucking overpowered just because it has so much versatility and it has the power to render all those other things I say useless. Like with Bang, for example, I'm pretty sure if you're at a level that Tatsumaki is and you have psychic powers, you can just incapacitate him to where he can't move or anything like that. So it's kind of like, okay, if you had a person that was the same level as Tatsumaki, but they specialized in martial arts, what the fuck could they do against her if she is just able to just make you not able to move? I think the power itself is just so crazy, and like I said, it has so many different uses. It's one of the strongest powers in One Punch Man that we've seen so far.
I think the only reason we've seen her do that so effortlessly is because nobody's on her level.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
That is true as well.
Like
Yeah.
if we go ahead.
I think if we see, like, say for instance, if Silver Fang could exert the same amount of energy with his physical body as she can with her mind, then he would be able to stand up to her. But he can't.
I agree. That's what this example we got. That's why I mentioned the word thwarts, because we saw it with Neon and Gear Spur. We saw it with Saitama and Fubuki. We saw it with Garou and Garou. Like, there are things to get, and we see it with Sairochi and Tatsumaki. Like, there are ways to deal with psychics. That's clear now. But I'm just asking, like, are those ways insufficient? Like, Sasuke brought up a great point. Like, if you put them on the same level, it's still a big advantage. Like, I agree with like Steve, like when we saw Garou and Giro go up against each other, Garou was able to resist that. But like, how much is you resisting psychic abilities in a fight gonna like hinder you? Like, can she now pick something up and throw it at you? Now you can't really move that fast, or like, is all her focus on just holding you down? Can she fly around while she's doing it? Like, that's the type of question I'm asking. Like, does the advantage that like Sasuke's alluding to, the advantage and the versatility that psychic powers have, is it just too overwhelming compared to like the advantages that like super speed or super strength or like super tankiness gives you in the series? Like, is there nothing to match it yet?
Well, let me say this first. I do think because like when you guys said that, thinking about the whole Garou and Psycho situation, I do think they, like, I don't think it's one of those powers where they're just going to just completely like low diff you or anything like that. Because the Garou and Psychos thing, unless you think Garou was stronger than Psychos in that situation, I think that's a perfect scenario to, think that Psychos isn't an overwhelming power over anything else that we've seen in the series to make of like decisive decision that this person's going to win because they got psychic powers or anything like that. But I do think because of the versatility of the powers and what we've seen it can do, I do think it's going to give you an inherent advantage over people who have a different power from what we've seen. Like martial arts, I keep bringing up. I feel like if you were a martial artist versus a psychic, to win that fight, you would probably need to be stronger than that person in your field. So if they were at the same level, I think psychics would probably always take the W. But if they weren't the same level, if one of them slightly stronger, then martial artists might be able to win. I guess that's what I'm trying to say.
So like same level, but like let's say somebody's like speed is faster than somebody else's like crazy psychic ability, but they're the same level though overall. Mm-hmm. You're saying that's how the speed guy could win?
if they were at the same level. Okay, I hate fuck. I hate speed. I said this before. Speed is one of the abilities I hate talking about because realistically, speed should win most of the times. Because if you aren't able to react to something, you should be able to. The speed person should be able to go for the kill shot easy
Every single time,
right?
one shot.
Yeah, that's the issue with speed. So like. Whenever I talk about speed, I try to get people down to think about what's going to actually happen in the narrative. Because realistically, if we're just talking about speed, Flashy Flash should win every single fight he's involved in, and it should be very quick.
Besides the time,
Every time. Okay, we're not even gonna go there.
Atomic isn't even pulling out his sword. It's that simple.
well, Flashy's losing his.
But I'm just saying, like, realistically, that's what the scenario should be. But obviously, what happens in the narrative, that's never going to be the case. We're never going to see Flashy Flash win every single fight because he's faster than the other opponent. That's not going to happen. All right, that's just going to be boring as shit. We're not going to see it. So, if we're talking about speed and psychic versus each other, they're the same level. I'm still going with psychic if we're talking about what's going to actually happen in the narrative, in the story. But if we're talking about what realistically should happen, then the speed person should be able to blitz them to the point where they're not able to react in a way to use their psychic powers. I hate throwing out that caveat, but yeah.
Well, actually, the perfect example, I forget which Justice League cartoon it was, but Green Lantern was trying to attack the Flash. And the Flash was like, sorry, John, you can't do anything against me because you can't think fast enough, even though your attacks are going at light speed. So the speedster would logically win, even in against a psychic.
They had a scientist writing that episode.
I don't know.
Because I feel like a regular nigga like me just been like light speed. He should be able to tag that nigga.
Facts.
Well, if you're a speedster, you're more, reactionary, and you're more trained to being able to attack and do everything at such a speed. But the average person, they want to think out their move more. And that's part of, like, with Green Lantern, for instance, it's like you got to think about what you're going to project. So even if the attack can go that fast, you have that slight delay. And that's probably what most psychics would encounter if they fought a speedster.
So, it's a little off topic, but I think it's, like, worthy of addressing. In a previous iteration of the Yan encounter and of the Child Emperor fight, we got some weird stuff. So I don't know why I'm struggling to say this, but like, I shouldn't give a fuck. Like, zombie trying to fuck child, man. Zombie trying to fuck child.
I've been on mute for like 15 minutes. I don't remember
Why
that.
would you say that?
Bro, that's what happened, man. Like, child out there all looking all cute and cuddly and shit, and zombies in there checking up on them. Like, them niggas, that's weird, bro. Like, what is it? Some like Roman like grooming, the elderly grooming the young type shit. Like, that's
He's been
weird,
reading
bro.
from the wrong website.
I was
Do
just about
not
to say, how
listen
did
to
you
him.
even? I don't even remember Zombie Man being in the chapter.
He wasn't, but Child was trying to contact him. He was like, Mr. Zombie Man, Mr. Zombie Man.
Grimm's gonna conduct some sort of weird experiment and story about how Child Emperor had one tear for Zombie Man, and there must be something behind that tear.
No, bro. I know you seen that cover page too, where like, what is it? Zombie and him are having drinks in the chair together, and like they're looking at each other, and like Child is smiling. Bro, that's weird, man. Like, I'm not with it. But look, either way, the whole point is that like, it seems that Murata is trying to implement some type of like relationship signals into the scenario here.
Maybe he's just somebody that he looks up to.
Yeah,
Can't they just be like a brotherly
Wait.
relationship?
yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Like an older brother, you know, maybe even a man that he respects, someone he sees as, you know, on the straight and narrow.
Wait, hold on. I wanna attempt to ask Grimm this question to cancel him. So, do you think it's wrong because they're both males, or do you think it's wrong because of the age gap? Which one?
Okay.
Oh shit! Where that water at?
I need to know, man, because we heard the Lily comment, so this looking kind of suspect.
We here at the One Punch Man podcast support LGBT.
Don't answer that.
We a whole corporation, man.
Easy, where is it?
I respect it, but I didn't see it that way. Realistic, like for real, I didn't see it that way.
Dead ass, bro. You didn't get those tones. Go reread the redraw, bro. Like I'm telling you, there's some weird undertones to that, bro. Dead ass.
No. The redraw was weird. I'm just talking about this chapter.
Oh no, this chapter, no. Yeah, I didn't even connect it yet, bro. What you connected with this chapter? Then go ahead, lead the way, sir.
What? How do you connect it?
What?
I'm just talking about the topic at hand.
Grimm's trying to delegate the blame here. He's like, no, it wasn't me. I wasn't thinking it.
He's like, what you saw?
Yeah. How you feel about them? No,
I didn't see nothing else.
No, I was connecting it to this chapter because to me it seems obvious that he's making more plays in the Genos Tatsumaki relationship. Now, this could have been something that's been in the works for a long time. We saw it from like the beginning of the quirks from like Tatsumaki like having that little fit up against Saitama and Genos interfered till after they defeated the Dark Matter Thief ship they had that encounter there, like him telling her that like he's gonna help and then her looking back and, you know, being stern. Like they've had like little quirks in their relationship already, so like to see them come to this like conciliatory moment to where Genos comes and helps her without a question, and then she sees that as like, oh, he came to my rescue, and like kind of like not even a rescue, but like a respect type thing, like, oh, you came to help me, but this is Tats, so you know she may be looking a little bit more. That's a little bit more romantic and shit. And then Genos says that shit like, that wasn't for your sake. Just him saying that and then her giving us those eyes in the next panel and then dropping him, like, it really makes me think that like we're gonna be building on the Genos Tatsumaki relationship.
Really didn't drop him.
Where he at, Bo?
Because if he was fucking dropping, then I think he'd hit the ground.
Bro, she dropped him, dog. She ain't nowhere. He really isn't anywhere, bro.
Because when she started twisting, he fell through the crack, and now he's actually like fucking thick.
He's being squeezed too.
He's like, you know, I can't fucking fly anymore, right?
She's slowly lowering him off screen.
I would say that's more likely because it's like she just thanked him for the assist. I don't think she's going to drop him to his possible death. It's like, oh, you're already crippled, but hey, let's just take your life.
So let me get this straight. You guys think it's okay that she made like 9 orbs, and that took like half of her power? She couldn't even deflect the Earth Cutter, but one Genos isn't gonna take a power down? Like, of course.
Well, technically speaking, I think when she initiates the twist, the bubble around Fubuki, Bang, and Bomb, that's still up. The rest of them have been taken down around Darkshine.
So one orb and one Genos? Come on, bro. Like,
hey, man, look, she knows the other guys can take care of themselves. But Fubuki, she's like, nah, I need to make sure she's good, though.
The question is, do you ship Tatsumaki and Genos?
See, I'm gonna say my piece. I didn't even see it like that, man. I was just like, you know what? She's found some newfound respect for Genos. She saw him put his body on the line. She saw that he
literally does that in every fight.
Yeah, but this time it was to back her case.
Yeah, to help her.
And And when he says, it wasn't for you, it looks like he almost has a bit of a grin on his face. So I feel like he said that kind of to continue that, just to kind of continue that joke, that same relationship that they have. But overall, it was more her gaining respect for him and not wanting to get it on with Genos now that he saved her from Blast.
You're wrong, sir. She wants that
Whoa.
dick, that demon dick,
What?
that
Oh my God.
cyborg
What the one-
cock.
See, I knew I
The
could
one
get it
that
out
he
of him.
has
I
to
knew.
attack, because she can look at him and tell he ain't got nothing done.
Hey,
No,
bro.
she saw that he was deep fried after his attack, and she was like, "Yo, damn, I gotta put some respect on this guy's name because he just put it all on the line just to help me save Fubuki and the rest of the heroes. Now I gotta put some more respect on his name by clapping Sayorochi."
She
But
literally.
what you saw was, oh my god, maybe now we can go on a date together.
yes. She literally says to him, she says, "I can finally concentrate on us now."
Oh my god.
Oh no. Oh god, no. That is the most out of context ever.
You know what? I actually mentioned people that misconstrued that in my review earlier today. So good job, man. You're a part of those people.
Fake news.
He wants the side chapter where Tatsumaki and Genos go to the milkshake bar. Zombie Man is there, Child Emperor.
Whoa.
Let me finish. As they're all looking at each other, that's when Atomic Samurai and Popo Prison open.
Whoa! Yo! Stop!
The Atomic and Purr shit.
Bruh.
Low key the best shit.
That's not a thing, dude. That's not a thing, man.
Hurry, think so.
We fucked
Oh
up.
no.
Hell no,
Matt knows
bro.
all the ships, bro.
Bro, you never like took a trip with your team. Y'all had to stay at a hotel. Like y'all niggas shared the bed, and like you nigga woke up next to you, bro. He was like, he was playing his PlayStation or his Game Boy while he was waking up and shit. That's all it was, bro.
A nigga never woke up to me half naked, looking at me with dreamy, starry eyes. No, I can't say that has happened to me.
Grimm, you seem to sound pretty familiar with this. What do they do in the Dominican Republic?
Fuck out of here, bro. Fuck out of here, boy. Hell no. Hell
Bro,
no.
he had his the way he was Puri was posed up, it looked like he was about to cook that nigga breakfast. Like, what you want, man? You want some pancakes? I got some eggs, bacon, anything you need, boy.
Hey, we got scented candles too.
Bro, I'm telling you, the way Puri was posed up, that's one of those like after the glow after sex, and man.
It's definitely the morning after a one night stand kind of thing. And it's like,
Yeah.
Hey.
No, bro. Atomic would have left Pootie like sperm, bro. Just in pieces, nigga.
All right, all right, we'll let you have that, man.
That might be the best bit, is after like before Atomic can respond, even when he's like negative, Dark Shine just wrecks them both.
Oh shit. Alright, so we've already talked about how, quote unquote, how reasonable it is that Tatsumaki isn't using her full power. And I'm even positive these guys will say that even this isn't her full power. Is that right, Suzuki?
This isn't. Yes. Yes. It is not her full power.
Oh man.
This isn't even her final
You'll
form.
gamble on it.
It's just enough to get the job done.
I thought I'd actually have to push myself in this fight, but fuck yeah, I bet you. Time to put the twist.
I mean, like we've seen that determined, like scary face before from her. We've seen the white eyes before, and apparently she was holding back. So I agree. Sure, there's no reason why she couldn't be holding back now. Fine. It's just like you realize what this means now, right, bro?
What does this mean?
Like somebody cut the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And Tatsumaki could have stopped that.
Yeah.
Whoops. She forgot about that.
Like I said, it's inconsistent, but hey, I'm just going off what's happening in the story.
Yeah, no, I'm not even saying it's inconsistent. I'm saying like it's that crazy. Like she's before, bro. Like I was talking. Like I feel so. Matter of fact, no, I don't even do that, bro. I always win. I always get them W's, man. I'm never wrong, bro. You know, I may have brushed past the thought that whenever she encountered Evil Eye and she didn't manage to kill him immediately, that maybe it was an indication to her power level. But this is for a while now. It's been ridiculous, and this is just another. I actually think that her twisting the city is like less impressive than the other things that we've seen. Maybe like Murata just put in less effort, but like I was expecting some different, some crazier panels to like show us really how destructive this is, because maybe the reference that we got in the following pages of Sea City's perspective of what's going on is enough to actually show that like, yeah, it is the entirety of the city, but like
I don't know.
Wait, less impressive. Dude, she is whisking this city like she about to make scrambled eggs, bro.
I felt like the dialogue after the whole, twisting the city was just so great. Like when we saw back at HQ, they're like, operator, the map looks distorted. And then they're like, is something wrong with the communication? Like, what's up? Like, is our shit tripping? And then she's like, bruh, she's just looking at the screen like, bruh, no. She's just twisting up the city, bro. I was like, that dialogue was perfect. And I also think the dialogue with Bane was perfect as well, because I think he couldn't, I'm not looking at it right now, but I don't think he could like measure the psychic ability that Tatsumaki was using in that instance. It's just, considering the level Bang is at, that's telling. That's telling of what she was doing in this chapter.
See, but do you think Bang was misidentifying whose psychic attack it was? Because he looks up and he's just like, damn, these psychics are going in. And then we had Fubuki, who specifically states in her mind, my sister's about to go off and kick the shit out of this person. So for me, it felt almost like Bang's comment was, oh, psychics in general seem to be going off, and I can feel this energy. I have no idea whose it is. Almost as if he was kind of saying to himself, shit, like I'm going to probably have to fight one of these guys.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I think either way, you could still attribute, because since Tatsumaki is a part of it, you can still attribute the power that is being displayed to her, even though if he wasn't able to pinpoint that it was her, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like she's up there part of it.
Yeah. Either way, I think it was a great way to show the audience, or like, explain to the audience, this right here, what we're seeing for Tatsumaki is unlike anything else we've seen from her in previous chapters.
Matt, what do you think? Is this Tatsumaki's greatest attack?
What is this the most powerful attack?
Oh my god!
You don't want to elaborate, bro?
Yeah. Hey, no, sorry. I did you mean as in like? Do you think you won't be asking me if this is her most powerful attack?
Yeah. Like out of all the feats that you've seen, like yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, like we've talked about this before, but cities are like the size of countries. She's twisting up a country, like she's messing with tectonic plates, right? In ways that they shouldn't be messed with. Am I right in saying that? And like,
tectonic plates are about 80 miles down. I think it was like 1,500 meters, which is only like a mile. So we aren't even close to that, because I thought about that. I was like, oh shit, there's going to be earthquakes everywhere now. But then I did a little research.
Still, I mean, like she's literally reshaping a country. That's
get a cartographer.
I'm not like I can't think of any features done like this. This is like an above, like the thing is like with all like anyone who's shown to be above dragon, like they've had at least had like one moment where they've really shown why they are different from other dragons. Like Boros kicking Saitama to the moon, collapsed Stone Cannon, Orochi, the attack that like shot through underground, like through the city. We saw it go, like we saw like it jump the cities around. And then, like, obviously with Sairochi, of course, where she obviously cut a chunk of the earth off. Like, this is that level of attack. Like, this is her. Like, this is me going all out now. So I can't think of any other attacks she's done that rivals it though, unless there's something I'm forgetting.
I don't think you are.
Keishan?
This is definitely her strongest attack. But if she was in prime condition, no pun intended, and just went full power right out of the gate, in any given fight, I dare say you'd probably get even bigger than this. Like, might be able to go deeper, more widespread, which the fact that you even have to go this much is ridiculous. And
Deeper, more widespread.
Okay.
Oh yeah, see, if Grimm was watching basketball, oh my god, like the references they make in basketball, you wouldn't be able to handle it
He'd just be a giggling
at
mess,
all.
wouldn't he?
Yeah, he was like, yeah, this is gay. This sport
You
is
gotta
gay.
penetrate.
Yeah. Play better, D. Penetrate the hole.
Get in there.
Don't let them get up in you like that. Throw it back out.
But yeah, like I was saying, it's like I think this is like the tip of the iceberg for what she might be capable
The
of
tip of.
in the future.
Oh,
But yeah, I don't know why she would ever need to necessarily do this on a normal basis, but good lord, who knows where the series is heading, given that this is what we're seeing now. So, this arc has truly changed everything. What we thought about the series and what some of these characters were capable of. I yield the floor.
So now, Steve-O.
What was the question again?
Out of the ones that we've seen, like her lifting the coast,
Oh yeah.
all that stuff, like
Yeah, was this her most powerful? So I think I agree with Matt here in the sense, just look at the scale of this attack. We got a whole country-sized ass city, and even if it's only a mile deep, because we know that Saitama and Flash at the end were feeling the effects of this. Even if it only goes that deep, the sheer scale of this attack to affect it countrywide, and for us to still not actually be sure whether this is her going 100%, all we know is in this current situation, she thought, all right, I know that Sayorochi has all of her roots spread throughout this entire city, so I'm going to triple the possible length of her roots covering this city, and I'm going to make sure to wring everything out. That's the added kind of delicacy to this attack. She's not just twisting it, she's making sure that everything's crushed within itself, within the bedrock, within the buildings, within anything else that she can conjure up in there. She's making sure that it all kind of collapses in on itself and squeezes. And that's the attack she's decided to use for this current situation. Just the scale of it for me, I was like, God damn, this is probably her strongest move that we've seen to date. Sheer size and also the intelligence behind using it for this situation.
Steve-O.
This feat right here, I think it's got to be the greatest since all the cities are like the size of countries or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And she's essentially twisting the city, or if not the city itself, it's as far-reaching as the city because she's she's condensing Sairochi into like one small rag, I guess, and she's wringing her out, and all of her roots are spread across the city. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, just in terms of range and volume, I don't even think it's close, based on everything I remember. But in sheer power, I don't know, because I would still look at what she did to the anti-man thieves ship when they shot all the warheads down at the city.
Oh yeah, nigga. Yo, this changes everything. What the hell was Tatsumaki doing, bruh? What? Hell, this don't make no sense, bruh. She should have been able to body the Dark Matter Thief shit, bruh. Hell no. Unless.
But
Are we-
okay.
Are we still under the assumption that the Dark Matter Thief ship could tank all of this?
No.
Nah.
If Tatsumaki tried to
So why not
twist,
though?
that's what I'm saying. I can believe it, because that bitch ain't do shit. She did not do shit.
Yeah, there's got to be a reason why she didn't do it.
It's
Murata hadn't thought of the attack back then.
Stop.
I mean, it could be just like a civilian thing because she doesn't know if anyone survived, and obviously, like with Z City, it's a more barren place. There's no one really around in that area.
Y'all niggas are sucking hard.
No, that's a good point. If she twisted the ship like that midair, and then it all just collapsed on top of where they were, the
Wouldn't
amount of civilian.
necessarily have even collapsed.
The civilians
That
are
might have
already dead.
detonated its engine.
The civilians were already dead, and it still collapsed in that same place.
What about the 1 or 2 survivors we saw, man?
Fuck them
heroes.
niggas.
Oh, wow.
They didn't even rebuild the city, bro. I just built roads there. Like, they said, fuck that city. Like, Boros really killed all those people. Like, that nigga's worse than Hitler, man.
We here at the Hero Association do not condone this man.
Because I said Boros is worse than Hitler? Stop.
No,
You
is
can't
like
say Hitler. Can't.
scenario
But
where
I'm
Bruce like
thinking-
left the PA on, and it's throughout the whole office.
But
Just
but
hear
I'm
him talking.
But I'm thinking in that moment, she might have watched enough sci-fi movies to know it's like, okay, this is some giant, far-off, space-faring vehicle. It's like it might have like some dangerous materials or something inside of it. So if I twist the shit out of it, like a rag, it might detonate its energy core and then possibly nuke not just a city, but all the surrounding cities, if not the whole planet.
All right, let me put it like this: the Dark Matter Thief ship was big, right? When it arrived, it cast a huge shadow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why didn't she just lift it and send it right back up into orbit or something like that? Would that be implausible from what we've seen here?
That would have been
No.
an interesting
That
thing.
that's
I
not
think she
crushing
could
it.
have done.
Exactly. That's not crushing it. That's not breaking the integrity. That's maintaining the same durability and tankiness that I believe it has. All that. Sure, it's a oh, you could have done that, you could have done this. It's fine. You could leave it out to that argument. But I still think that the fact that Boros came in a ship, bombed the place, and then Tatsumaki was involved with the attack, like deflecting the bombs, controlling the bombs, that she couldn't bring down the ship when she could do this. That seems completely unreasonable to me.
You could be right. As soon as they got to the planet, she could have basically just activated Mirror Force, sent them back.
Or pull like a Luffy on Thriller Bark where he like just pushes the zombie back in the grave. Except it's like, nope, fuck you, get off my planet.
Satsuki's triggered, he hit One Piece.
And you know what? I'm gonna get belligerent with it. We have no reason. I have no reason to believe that the savage witch that just ripped up an entire city to beat some monster that lifted an entire coast to stop a tsunami wouldn't exaggerate her response to an alien that just leveled an entire city. There's no reason why she wouldn't lift the entire ground, the entire A city bit that was leveled. There's no reason why she wouldn't use all the debris on the ground, all of it, to just run through the dark matter thief shit, man. Like, that's an issue, bro, right there, bro. Like, that's an issue.
There might be a reason. I don't know how feasible it is, but what if there is a Metal Knight protocol? It's like, okay, some aliens just arrived. Try to keep their tech intact so that I can reverse engineer it and collect it later and all this other shit. And it's like, there you go. Maybe
this nigga said, bro, what? Kishin, what? Like, that, you didn't even get that shit out your ass, bro. You found that shit, bro. You found that.
It's what I'm good at, is coming up with crack theories.
Nigga, you on a lot of crack, Billy.
No, I deplore drugs. This is just straight out of my weird brain.
Nigga, that theory's deplorable.
I didn't say it was very feasible. It's just a thought. That's all it is.
All right. When it comes to me, maybe it's just because I'm like cynical, so I don't try to look for justification in most things if I just don't see it there. We were talking about One Piece, right? Like, okay, if we look at the different arcs and whatever, and we know from the flashbacks that Luffy had Snake Man and all these other forms, but he never used it in cases where he could have ended the fight easily. I think it's the same case with Tatsumaki in the case of the ship and everything, because I literally feel like it's just the mangaka Murata one just said, all right, we don't want her to use her full power necessarily in this situation, because if she did, the situation would be handled in a manner that's not pleasable for the audience. It's just not going to be enjoyable. It's the same situation with Saitama in a lot of cases, because theoretically he should be able to end every fight with one punch, because we know he has enough power to do so. But we're not going to see that even in his fights. Either he's going to be in a position where he's not going to be able to fight the threat, or he's not going to use his full power at the start of the fight, because it's just not enjoyable to watch. That's just how the ball rolls with it. So I don't try to look too deep with those moments specifically. If you do, I won't blame you. I will say it's an inconsistency, but again, just for me, I'm not going to really dive too deep into that territory, because then it opens the floodgates for questioning other things we see retroactively. Because if we see different, if we see feats from people in this art, like Atomic Samurai or whatever, then we're going to question, why didn't he do that in this situation? Because we know he's this strong. But
it's just like, it's justified though. Like you already said that, like, you were using like the whole narrative, like it's gonna be like more entertaining, and I agree with that. That's 100% the reason why it happens. That's correct. But like taking it like in the narrative, right? Trying to use only story elements to explain the things. Those some of those examples are explained in the series. Explained, like Atomic. They tell us like Atomic got the FAS because he encountered Melzigard. Like they explain why he got that power, and he showed it like that. And I'm assuming that we had that conversation earlier that we're giving, as a community, we give Blast the benefit of the doubt because of the prestige and stuff, even though we haven't seen it. But like, we're expecting a good explanation when we get to it. Like whenever Blast shows up, that has to be something that's addressed as to why he's not showing up. Sure, Sitch already mentioned it. Sure, Sitch already alluded to what the reason is. But like, we need a direct correspondence as to why he's not showing up for these world-devastating events. And I'm assuming that we're going to get that. So all I'm pointing out is that for Tatsumaki to be confronted with an alien invasion, and now with somebody who can cut the earth. She has the ability to deal with somebody who can cut the earth. I'm assuming that she always had this ability. Like we had got no clarification or justification that she got a power up since the Dark Matter Thief ship. So that's what I'm saying. Like, there's no reason not to connect this power level to when she was back then. So I don't think it is like looking at it retrospectively or like using hindsight to look at the fact like, oh, she could have done that. Like, no, like we usually get explained as to why their power is different or why they did something differently then compared to now. Like Murata's really good with that. One Piece, I see what you're saying with One Piece, but like Oda does a horrible job with that shit. Like no, I don't like that shit. The nigga's repetitive, or he does a horrible job of excusing all kinds of stuff. Like, no, I don't accept Oda's excuses. He does a bad job of that. But Murata does a good job usually. All I'm pointing out is that is this power difference not of the same magnitude? Like, it's the same thing. Like, we expect Blast to show up for Boros. We expect Blast to show up for Earthcutter. She has the power to deal with an Earthcutter, but she couldn't deal with Boros?
Well, what I was talking about is just, I guess, specifically, it's just when we see a difference in power exerted by different characters. Because, like, if you're in the... like, what you're saying, like, if Blast didn't show up in this situation, whatever, that's more just them, like, being out of the story. You know, it doesn't make sense for Blast not to show up, considering what we've seen for Psychos is threatening the Earth itself. I think that is definitely... I think both are reason enough to ask a question of, you know, like, why is this happening? But just in the case of, like, if there is a power discrepancy, or now because we see this power from Tatsumaki, we're questioning why she didn't use her full power in a different situation that we've seen in the past. Those I don't question too much. I don't look too deep into it. But like I said, if you were to do that, I wouldn't blame you, because, you know, you're just looking at the series critically, and you're honing in, like I said before, inconsistencies. So, like, I wouldn't blame you for doing that. You can do that 100%. It's just, for me personally, I'm not going to look too deep into series when it comes to that aspect specifically. But when you talk about different characters not showing up, considering that we're seeing these planetary threats and whatnot, yeah, that's definitely that's something I'm going to question as well. That's
I understand what you're saying.
That's what I'm bringing up.
Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, that is like, I get what you're saying. Like, she was there, she did stuff. Just because she didn't do what I wanted her to do doesn't mean that she couldn't have done something. But Blast not showing up, yeah, you gotta explain that nigga. Like, the Earth was...
yeah, for sure.
I get what you're saying, yeah, alright. Still though, bro, like, fucking... Damn, bro. I only excuse her because she got that ass, and I'm looking at her right now. Nigga, that shit. Ooh.
Oh my god, Tatsumaki is looking better and better, man. I don't know what it is.
Is she finally growing up?
You seen the one where, like, her thighs were, I think it was like right here. Her thighs were like in front view. Was it here? Or I think it was the last panel. Like,
there was a lot of them,
bro. She's sexy, bro. Like, ooh. Yeah, right there. Oh, damn. He's trying to hide it from
trying to tell you, man. Murata's trying to please all the every different fetish with Tatsumaki. Every different one.
Those thighs, bro. Oh. And the thighs, like, you lick all the way up into the pussy, or like you lick the thighs and shit. Like, you tease right outside the pussy too, like right in the crevices and shit. You gotta make sure she showered though. You need a sweaty all up in there. Like,
alright, bro. She covered in blood, but knowing you not gonna care.
Yeah, that's juice.
That's juice. Oh my god.
This nigga so
Jesus Christ.
You got yourself checked out, right, honey? I don't want
my
blood disease.
Question. So, did one read the reread, like the redraw of 130 when Tatsumaki's getting everyone out there?
When she's doing what?
When Tatsumaki's putting the orbs around everyone and getting them out there as she lifts before she lifts the association.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I doubt it, but do you think Iron's dead?
Wouldn't think so.
Did we see him in this chapter?
It's not
No, we
because
didn't.
Atomic
No.
gets Bushy Drill and a
Yeah,
Komatati and
he's
then the
looking.
He's
He's
like,
like,
where's...
Yan?
He's like, where is he? Because he stopped down there to protect Narinki's squad.
That's true. Oh, that's a good question. I would believe that he's still alive, just because we had to get the redraw. Because in my mind, if they wanted to emphasize that Jan would die from this attack, they would have never Murata would have never needed the redraw in the first place. So I would believe that he is alive, but considering I'm looking at it now. Yeah, considering that we didn't see him in this
Yeah, I'm
chapter
looking at
and
it
no
now,
one
too.
really knew. Yeah, I think it's definitely I think it's a good cause to question if whether he's alive or not, because we see everybody else, but except that nigga.
Hope he doesn't lose another limb.
If he does, he just gotta nigga, you just gotta retire, bruh.
It's like every time you're in a big fight, you lose something. Come on, either get some robotic limbs or, like you say, retire.
And my boy Andy on a monster, but don't even worry about that shit, bro.
What, do you think you're gonna be the hoppin' Hessian by the end of this?
The what?
It's a Rocco's Modern Life reference. There, during the Halloween special, there's like this old bridge, and it's actually, I think, based on a real thing. And there's a one-legged man from, I forget which war it
The
is.
fuck?
And his ghost comes out, and it's like you have to run across the bridge to be safe, and they didn't make it. And he's just hopping around on one leg, wielding a sword. And he's called the Hoppin' Hessian.
All right, can we quick talk about Pig God as well?
Oh my god.
He showed up for a page and just immediately just like burst out the ground and saved Child Emperor.
Yes, loved it.
Like the
Hey,
determination.
Big God a real hero.
He did save him up against the,
determination on his face.
He did save him from the Medusa monster. What was her? Eyesight, I think was the name of it. Back in the Invasion of the Monsters.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess yeah, he has that.
I'll never get over how uninspired those names are, bro.
Amazing. The name's incredible.
The weird thing about it is it's so simple a lot of the times that it gives it its own unique style, because we don't see this in a lot of series where the names are that damn simple to where it's to the point where if we see a monster they don't get their names introduced, we could probably guess what their name is going to be if we get enough guesses.
Yeah. Heroes too.
Yeah.
C class, B class, D class niggas, E class. Yeah, I'm names, bro.
Basically,
This dude dark and his skin shiny.
Dark side.
Right, we've got a monster.
Shine
guys.
dark.
He's
That's
got
what it is.
He's got a shower for a head.
So,
No, his name is Glow in the Dark, right?
oh, that's a big dog. Oh, girl.
We also got to talk about Darkshine, bro.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And still got the trauma.
I feel like it's actually, as blasphemous as it may sound, I actually think it's a good thing that Darkshine looked like a bitch in this chapter. You know, because he's in the fetal position and whatnot. Just to show him, like just to show us, like, that the PTSD he suffered for getting his ass whooped by Garou. It's just, for me, I think it's realistic to have a hero who is at the top of his game get beat down the way he did, and
Get his big time.
to suffer, like, the ramifications of it are tremendous. Like, he probably never thought in his life he would ever get his ass whooped like this.
Look at
So I think it's realistic.
Well, it's more about how he identified that he actually was afraid to take that attack from Garou.
Yeah.
So he lost faith in himself and his kind of pride, which was his absolute defense. So I agree with you. I'm happy that he's unhappy for the moment.
And it's also just like, I know he's originally from sports, but it's like that sports trope of like, the old pro trying to get back into the game. You know, that's what it should be for him, is him trying to pick himself back up and like learning like to deal with what he's got now.
I think.
Look at him lie with
Go
his
ahead.
ass up.
Wait, what?
Look at him lie with his ass up.
Oh my god.
This shocked.
How much is like-
This shocked. He ain't catching rocks right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it could serve as really great character growth for him in this moment after this whole Monster Association thing. Maybe he goes back to saying like, I always feel like he always was training, but maybe he takes it more serious. Maybe he doesn't underestimate his opponents ever again because of this specific moment with Garou. I feel like this point in time, even though we may clown Dark Shine, I'm gonna clown that motherfucker. But but I think it could actually be a point for him to have great growth in the future.
Yeah, I mean that's why I really want him to interact with Melbat, because Melbat's like the opposite, where he just won't give up. Like he'll push it to as far as he can go. Even when he's so like I think it'd just be great to see something go on between those two.
Yeah, I mean, him interacting with Metal Bat, even with Genos, to be fair, because Genos has probably suffered the most L's of any character in any manga in history. And besides Vegeta, and all he does is get back up, get new upgrades, go back, get clapped again, do the same thing, rinse and repeat. But he progressively gets better. So yeah, Metal Bat Genos, that'd be pretty cool.
I can picture that speech to Darkshine from Genos. It's like, I never give up, and I always stand back up once someone builds me some new legs.
All right, so
if I was Darkshine, I'd be like, bitch, nigga, you got robotic parts. Like I don't got that shit. If I get fucked up, it's over.
You could have robotic parts. I used to be human, supposedly.
Well, that's true.
So before we head out, it seems like the defeat of Sairochi is now on its way.
Woo.
The possibility.
That's what you think, brother.
The possibility of them splitting apart does also seem likely. So my question is to you guys: will Psycho survive this? Will Orochi survive this? And if Orochi survives this, will he get his rematch with Saitama? Or will Psychos get a one-on-one with Fubuki or Tatsumaki? Like, what do you see if somebody survives this?
I don't think I could see Saitama and Orochi fight again.
When you say survive this, what do you mean?
Like either one, you can choose either one, or you can choose both, or whatever. But like,
You mean out of Psychos and Orochi?
yeah. Like from this attack that's gonna happen now, that's squeezing apart everything. Like, is God gonna like interfere again? Like, does the power up that he gave them like save them from dying from this? Like, if Orochi survives this, is he gonna fight Saitama? Like, if Psycho survives this, can somebody survive this attack? And if so, which one?
I don't think that they should be able to survive it based on the way that it's looking right now. But I mean, I guess it's possible. And I guess I could speak to who I would want to survive. But as for who would, I don't think I'm at liberty. But I want for Psychos to survive, and not to be shallow, but it is just because of ass and titties.
I mean, hey, that's a good enough reason. That ain't shallow.
Yeah. But I mean, I just like to put a little more spice on it than that, because that's what people come to expect. I don't want to get too predictable.
Wait, I want to help Steve-O out a little. Just not only is it just the ass and titties. I think Psychos being alive as opposed to Orochi makes more sense narratively, since she has a connection to her current opponent with her past with Fubuki and whatnot. With Orochi, we won't have anything to look forward to when it comes to their place in the story and whatnot.
Yeah, I think Orochi's overstayed his welcome anyway.
Yeah, but realistically, we want the ass.
Yeah,
And
for real.
without him being in the webcomic, it means more if he doesn't necessarily stay, But so it doesn't affect things in the long run if he's dead or alive.
That's true as well.
But
well,
I wanna
maybe
bring-
Murata just going rogue. Maybe he's doing his own thing.
I don't think one's gonna let him go too far off. Got to keep
Yeah,
a
what-
leash on.
One gonna be like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Rather,
This
I don't
is
know,
my
nigga.
story, motherfucker.
Well, having a big kaiju like this is pretty far off.
Oh, funny you say kaiju.
Oh,
Because there's an
I don't know.
evolution to the theory. We might
I have
get
no clue.
evil natural red ocean.
oh,
Beer bud.
Be it I'm not the one who came up with this, but the thought did kind of cross my mind. But I'm going to give credit to One Nation from Grimm's server. He mentioned it with all that blood that's gushing out of the ground everywhere. And we still don't know where evil natural water is. And guess what blood is? Majority water. So,
and there is a large body of water right there.
yes, evil natural kaiju.
So you think even natural water is gonna get buffed up from the gooey, like gushy, like Orochi juice that's everywhere, and get big and buff until he reaches the ocean and then become god level threat?
Yes.
maybe Orochi takes over him. It's like, look at all this power you're amassing. I'm going to take that. And then maybe that's when Saitama might have a rematch with him.
Oh, so the same thing that happened last time, like the little Orochi pieces, they come back together and shit, and they unite inside of even natural water too. Oh,
And then, Saitama then takes out 2 dragon level threats.
Yo, look at Tatsumaki in this panel, man.
Which one?
Stirring the evil
Look at
witch
her.
culture.
Which one?
Where you put it at?
The one that you screen sharing.
Oh yeah.
Oh, screen sharing. My bad. I'm not looking at that.
She giving that double hand twist.
Bro, like, you can just imagine like your tip coming out the top, bro. Like, oh my god, like,
Wow.
and
Nah,
then,
I can't imagine that. My dick ain't big enough for that.
I was just about to say her hand's kind of small, so I probably got it.
yeah. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She's small. She's
Okay,
small.
maybe we can work with
for sure.
Yeah,
For
okay.
all sizes. Yeah.
All sizes matter.
Notice how that changed real quick when you started thinking about it.
And that like stuff coming out from your hands and stuff. That's not blood. That's that's juice.
I like how this nigga
Dude.
didn't even finish it.
Just juice.
If it's that color, please, people, see a doctor.
No, it's chocolate milk. You ain't never heard?
Yeah.
Nah, that just means she's doing a good job, man.
She's scraping the inside of your dick.
But Grimm's from the Dominican Republic. It's not that color.
Yo, leave me alone, son.
Wait, what?
That's the chocolate milk. That's the 4 kids version of this fight. There's just chocolate stars. There's just chocolate stars. Chocolate milk's everywhere, guys.
Oh, man.
This comes from a brown cow. Chocolate milk.
Never drinking chocolate milk again.
All right, guys. Oh, good.
Wait, one more thing, because you brought up like the fight is coming to a close. I was so worried about this whole. I don't even want to call it a theory. It's just an idea, really. But I feel like the only way to extend this whole battle, at least with Psycho's story, because obviously there's more to Psycho's. We're going to get more Psychos later on, so I don't see this twisting of the city being the last that we see of her. I feel like what she'll probably do is take Fubuki hostage, which is the only weakness it seems that she can hold on with Tatsumaki, because I don't see her getting a chance to overpower Tatsumaki again. So she has to hit her where it will balance the scales. And I think the only way she could do that is if she hones in on Tatsumaki's weakness, which is her sister. She obviously loves her sister. So I feel like that idea is becoming more feasible now I was kind of worried about it with other stuff that was happening. But, either that or just like the monsters that haven't shown themselves are going to come into play. But I think it's more the former. I do think the monsters will show up, but I think they'll be matched up with the other heroes, not Tatsumaki. But I guess we'll see.
I could see that playing out. What if she like mind controls Fubuki? And then from there, it's like, if I'm going to make you fight your own sister. That isn't going to end well for either one of you. But then it's like, if you attack me directly, who's to say that the mental control that I have over her won't destroy her mind?
Yeah, I actually think that's quite possible. I don't know how the hostage things would happen, but I feel like that has to happen for Psychos to have an extended fight, confrontation, interaction with Tatsumaki.
It's really the only leverage she seemingly has left at this point.
So the relationship aspect is the reason why the fight, or why Psycho should probably be the one that lives?
Yes.
Damn, bro. So fuck Saitama versus Orochi Part 2, huh?
Yes.
Damn, dude.
We could still have it, but,
It'd be the same thing again.
Bro, Orochi learned, bro. He ready. Plus, he can just make a contract with God, bro.
I've got a giant water body now. I can just reform.
This nigga's stupid, bro. He's stuck on that evil natural Orochi, bro.
Hey, I've had theories come true before. It never hurts to try.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for Tsumaki's double-handed juicy twist. We got an amazing flooding of juice everywhere, all across Z City. So hopefully in the next chapter we can see her her cleaning up the fight and really show Psychos Orochi who's boss. This is a spectacular installment of the podcast. I want to say thank you to all the individuals who participated. As always, it's been a long time now of bringing this fire. Congratulations, you did a good job.
Kasatsuki speaks for all or something.
All right. If you want to see more One Punch Man content before the next chapter, make sure you check out all of our channels. They'll be in the description below. We each produce some content that will sustain you along the way. Not only including One Punch Man, but a bunch of different topics. If you'd like to support the channel, check out the link in the description for our Patreon and our Discord. If you want to talk about this chapter and other chapters and other stuff, like Tatsumaki's thighs and stuff, come to the Discord where we talk about Tatsumaki's thighs and stuff. I heard Sasuke. So Sasuke, what do you think about